It's Wrecking Ball Radio.
Shut up and entertain me.
There's no rules. There's no rules.
Holy sh**, it's amazing.
I see her sarcasm and nastiness grow.
This is Davin's Den.
Good evening, everybody. You are watching or listening to Davin's Den. Yes, Davin's Den, the show that is better than being a fool for your loving. I'll be a fool for your loving no more, Pip.
For mine? Oh, come on.
Sorry, I won't. Oh, yes. Watch us on DavinComedy.com and watch us on the Davin's Den page on Facebook. I am your host, Davin Rosenblatt. I'm joined by Joe Curry.
Hello, how's everybody doing?
Hello, Joseph. And Pip Helix.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, Pippola. One of my favorite shows of the year, when we get to fight and be funny and mix in politics and make stupid mistakes and fight about nonsense and get pissed off for no reason. It's like our show, the whole existence in one show. The April
Isn't
Fool's
that our
Countdown.
show?
What? It is. The only thing we don't have is a category for the biggest scammer fool of the year.
Ooh, true.
So
I know mine.
Did you guys do anything interesting for Easter?
No,
Absolutely
not
not. No. We sat
So-
around at Chinese food.
So this isn't a spoiler alert because Facebook has now done something where if they find out somebody's a scammer, they will delete the conversation, their part of the conversation. So you still have the conversation, except it looks like you're talking to yourself, which is very, very disconcerting. It's like, wow, I spent hours that day just rambling on to myself. The hell's wrong with me? So,
Well, like I don't have enough things to tell the therapist. This is great.
So I've been dealing with a scammer on multiple platforms, but mostly on Facebook. And since Facebook has deleted her on multiple occasions, I might as well give you this because we can never cover it on the show because I'm not going to screenshot everything as I'm going along. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do that. But the short of this one is she's a former prostitute. Originally she just wanted to talk to me. We would have some fun. But then, after talking to me, she wanted to give up her life of seductressness, and of course,
why?
immediately she was in New Jersey, and of course, as soon as I know New Jersey, she had to move to Little Rock, Arkansas, as one is wont to do. So that's not the here nor there.
Little Rock is happening.
The reason I bring up Easter is obviously she wants money. Obviously, fake Davin is having money problems, as is often the case, like many people today. As hard as you work, you just don't have enough scratch. So I had the one plan, which surprisingly did not work out well. So I had another plan. I said, to get money. I said, well, I could steal from their church on Easter Sunday. And she was all about that.
No. Wow.
Well,
Wow.
I just made myself lightheaded with that. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we had started out at $30 or $50, maybe $100. She felt I should steal $800 from the church.
Wow. She's
Like
pretty brutal.
like I'm Jerry Falwell or something.
What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to take the envelopes from the collection plate? I mean, is that what we're
That's what it was. I was gonna take from the collection plate. That was the plan.
doing?
And I'm like, I think we're going to go to hell for this. But she's convinced God would forgive this. Somehow, I do not think God would be forgiving on Jesus Day when you steal from the church. I think that gets you a shoot right to hell. I don't think there's any redemption after that.
No. Jesus Day. And it's a bigger Jesus Day than Christmas anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the Big Mama Jama. I mean, like somber holiday is Good Friday, but Big Jesus Day is Easter. And stealing from the collection plate on his big day, not so good.
No remorse. Wholeheartedly behind it, completely encouraging. I don't think I've ever met one that was this brazen before. I never presented one with that challenge before. So, I go to church. You want the good news or the bad news?
Bad news.
Bad, bad news is fake Davin did not steal $800.
Oh, what did he do?
He only got four.
Oh, wow.
Fake Davin was only able to purloin $4 from the collection plate. In his defense, he says there was only $7.50 on the plate.
Oh no. Oh no. This, evil and incompetent. This is not a good look.
Well, as you would imagine, things did not go well from there.
What, because you had a disappointing haul?
I had, but she had assured me that this will be the only time she asked me to steal from the church. Oh, okay.
Where's next then?
Oh, and here's the funny thing. You'll like this. Again, it's a shame we can never do this, but you'll appreciate this. I asked her to pray for us that we would be successful stealing from the church.
Oh, oh, wow. Wow. The only thing that would have been better is if you had gone grave robbing for her.
Well, I will tell you this. This was so sinister and so ridiculous, and she was all for it so much. I might actually have to whip this out at some point in the future.
Well, you've
Just,
never held back from whipping it out before, so
no,
I
but like,
fully expect.
like, can, think how craven you are on not just stealing from the church, but stealing from the church on Easter Sunday. I've had them steal the money out of my kid's mouth, but we're talking about stealing from the church on Easter Sunday, and then she says she'll pray for us. Oh, if only Facebook was not getting hep. Oh well, what are you gonna do?
It only could possibly have been better if the collection was dedicated to some cause that was just like, you would have to be the most evil bastard to steal from like widows and orphans of like firemen. You know what I mean?
I don't think she would care.
Oh no, I know that, but I mean, it would, Easter Sunday collection plate stealing from widows and orphans.
And on the way out, I kicked a puppy for good measure.
And you lit a candle and then knocked it over with a can of gasoline to burn the place down when you left. Come on. Have a little fun.
So we currently are not talking. I don't know if we will, but again, it's been a very good one. Because for a little while I haven't been very happy with my creative endeavors, but I was very happy with this one with my creative endeavors. But we'll never get to do it. But I can recycle the stuff. But speaking of scammers, we've said it time and time again on this show. Anyone can get scammed, and
Yes.
my father is anyone.
Oh no.
Yeah, he got scammed. And,
Oh God, I'm sorry to hear that.
part of the reason he got scammed is because he doesn't listen to my mother. My mother's very cynical. My mother worries about everything. Once in a while, she worries about the right thing.
Yeah, why don't you listen?
Well, he had gotten like a text claiming to be from their insurance company. This was very recently, and he was going to respond to it. And she's like, no, go on the website and contact them. And he did. And they're like, no, we're never going to text you. So thank goodness for my mom. But it's like, I'm right here. I'm right here. You guys bother me with nonsense all the time. This is,
Oh,
I think I told you guys, it was just like a week or two ago. My mom was lecturing me on scams and scammers. I'm like, you do know what I do, right? Yeah. Is it so much of a secret that even mom doesn't know?
yeah, I know. It's really something when your parent lectures you about something you do for work. It's like, Have we talked?
It's funny because next week my parents are going to sequester me and we're going to have a comedy writing session, so it's going to be good. But I mean, it's like me going to my dad and go, you know what, Dad? Here, let me show you how to do a tax return.
Right, right. Let me talk to you about some deductions that you've been missing.
Mom, let me show you how to really shop for trashy Harlequin novels. Let me show you how to really do it.
Really, I know. It's like, don't talk to me. Don't talk to me about Winwood and cats. I have this down. Don't lecture me about that stuff.
Pip, do you like those trashy Harlequin novels?
No,
Okay. All
I
right.
do
Anyway.
not like bodice rippers. No.
All right. So I'll tell you how he got scammed. Part of it's kind of a mystery to me, to be honest with you, and part of it we've dealt with before. So he wanted to cancel the Peacock streaming service, and he says he went on the NBC website and there was a link to Peacock, and he clicked on the link and found a phone number. I find this very unlikely. First of all, these companies don't want you calling them. The last thing they want is to talk to us.
That's true. That's
It is true.
absolutely
At best, the companies that still sort of give a shit will give you a live chat.
Right. Yeah, but that's actually sometimes with a bot too.
Right, but still, there's some, like, most of the time, it's just like, oh, you have a concern. Here's the most asked questions. You still have a concern. Here's an email address, and we'll get back to you. And they do. They get back to you. But
Yeah.
But if you want to cancel, you should just be able to log into your account and go into your account, I guess, the things, and cancel. It should be pretty straightforward. But I understand he doesn't know it. Okay.
Well, Joe, explain to the man from a sales perspective why you wouldn't make it easy for somebody to step away from your business.
Well, I would think he would keep them occupied. It just seems that it's easy to get into that. We had one today at the day program saying a message from HR, and it's like we all knew it was a scam because basically HR doesn't send stuff. The only thing when HR comes out, my boss coming downstairs to yell at everybody about something.
No, I meant as a salesperson, why would you not make it easy for the customer to like get away from the sale?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they make it. I sometimes there's no rhyme or reason.
They're not going to make it easy. They're going to make it like 12 steps to cancel their service because they don't want you to leave.
No.
Well, he calls this phone number. I asked him for the website. He hasn't sent it to me. He calls his phone number, and it's not NBC or Peacock. And this guy is asking him for his ATM number, his PIN number, which they're never going to do. At most, they'll ask you for the last 4 digits of your credit card, the last 4 digits of your social security number. They're never going to ask you for the whole thing because they have it. And they're never going to ask you for your PIN number because they don't need it because you've already granted them permission to take withdrawals from that card.
Right.
Yeah, as soon as they ask for that, I step away. I don't trust it.
Well, my dad, like so many people, he's got these alarm bells ringing.
Mm.
But he keeps going forward. And we've talked about this before. You have to trust that nagging voice that's inside you goes, this isn't right. I should stop now. But we poo-poo it and we keep plowing ahead forward into the great abyss. And he should have stopped.
That voice you're hearing in your head is me.
Yeah.
Don't. Oh my God, hang up. Don't.
So this guy keeps him on the line for a very long time, as they do, because
Davin, what's a very long time?
It could have been hours, Joe. I don't know. It certainly was way longer than it should take to cancel something. I don't know. My parents said it was a long time. I have no idea what that means. But I mean, listen, scammers will start with you in your house, stay with you as you drive to Best Buy or wherever, and wait with you on the phone while you purchase the gift card and stay with you while they scratch it off. That is a very common thing. Or while you go to the bank. Because you know what scammers have? Kind of like comedians, a lot of time to kill. So,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, unfortunately.
so they're on the phone for a while. And then the other phone rings that my parents have. It's
Right.
Bank of America.
And,
It's legitimately Bank of America.
Legitimately Bank of America. It's their fraud department.
uh-oh.
Did you authorize a withdrawal of $2,000? No.
Oh,
No.
no.
How about a sneaker purchase of $200? The guy bought sneakers while he was on the phone with my dad.
Oh my God.
He probably already had it like in the shopping cart someplace, so he could just plug in the information.
Yep.
Yeah.
So my dad's like, no, I didn't authorize this. He gets back to the scammer and calls him, "You're a thief," and hangs up.
Well, good.
Now, here's the thing. I understand why my dad did that. He's so disgusted. Could you imagine if that had happened to me, if I had a moment to think, the antics I would have put this motherfucker through? That would have been like game on.
Oh, yeah.
You would have had it, but here's the deal. I don't think you would if it was your actual card, because now the guy is spending. You know, I mean, if it was like one of the scams you have going where it's not involving your personal credit card, you would scam it. But you want to do the, you know, if there's a problem, you want to get it done.
Well, here's the thing. Bank of America, and we told my parents, go, you know what? Stick with Bank of America. Good bank. They denied the $2,000 withdrawal, and they refunded my father the $200. That's a good bank. That is, you know, these banks get shit on for good reason. But you know what? The fraud department of Bank of America, A+, kudos, good for them. But my dad,
5% interest they can afford.
yeah,
They're not all that nice.
no, but still, I mean, a lot of times people lose everything. We talk about it all the time, and the banks never refund anything. And you wonder why didn't the bank call? But they did call. They were on it right away. Now, listen, sometimes the bank is annoying. You know, I'm on the road and I've had to fill up 4 tanks of gas in the fucking day because I'm a maniac. And finally, the bank is like, "Is this really you?" "Yes, it's me."
Yes, it's me. Driving and driving and driving and driving.
Yes. But but my dad is shaken. He feels embarrassed. He's lost sleep over it. And it's just, you know, they're of that age, but I mean, anybody can be scammed, but they're of that age. And you just hope, can you just be a little bit more cynical? But the thing I don't understand is, what phone number did he call? Where did he find this phone number? Because some scammer somewhere has gotten very good, has something that I guess resembles a peacock phone number.
Yeah, well, they were good enough that he seemed to think it was believable, even though he was feeling the red flags in his gut, but he still was like, well, it couldn't possibly be the wrong thing. You know, like he must feel really embarrassed. But these people who do this, we know full and well that they can be convincing. Very convincing.
Yeah, they're getting better and better at this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
But then it makes me think, oh, this is why I do what I do.
Yeah, to keep other people, like the elderly or people that, don't really understand the internet very well, or, just the trusting.
Well,
And
no, but like, you realize the havoc they wreak. And my parents got out okay. They did better than most.
yeah.
And then you just think about it, and Joe always gets a kick out of it when it goes horribly wrong. And then I said, send the scamming scammers logo. Just how miserable they are. They realize they've wasted months with a complete asshole and gotten nothing.
That's so wonderful.
Yeah.
Such a great ending.
Yeah.
Back in the day, before I knew much about computers or anything, I was, at one point I had to work from home, and so my uh, bosses sent our IT person to my house to set up. So I was setting up the internet with a program so that I could work from home, and I can't remember what it was, but something that I had, and it was from someplace reputable, like Verizon or something like that, gave me the instructions how to put this on my computer. And at one point in the instructions, it said connect to the internet and then take off your virus protection. I was like, what? And I looked at it again and I read it over, and that's what it said to do. And I'm like, all right, this sounds cuckoo, but it clearly says to do that. And the minute I clicked it off, my computer went to sludge pace.
Huh.
And it was just like dead in the water. So they sent the IT guy over to my house to see what had happened. I showed him the directions. He agreed with me. That's what it said to do. And he goes, that wasn't the right thing to do. And I'm like, well, I know now.
Well, I mean,
And
but to be fair, a lot of times, even still, if you're putting in software, they'll tell you to take down your firewall or take off
yep,
your antivirus because it won't play nice at first. So it's pretty
right.
common to do it.
Right. So I was following the directions to the letter, and every virus on the planet got into my computer. So
That's
he
crazy.
had quite a time getting everything back to status quo and putting it in the proper way. But, I'm not super, technical, and it was many years ago, and I was following directions to the T, and I still got screwed. And all those viruses are scammers, internet scammers.
Well, I did some flying. I have some turbulent air.
Oh, oh boy. Maybe take some Alka-Seltzer.
You're right. You'll see a beautiful serene river. To your left, majestic mountains. Uh-oh, straight ahead, it seems like we have a big black cloud. We're going to need you to fasten your seatbelts, folks, because it looks like we're in for a turbulent flight.
Yes. So I last week I was away in Florida, and I flew United. To be honest, I don't like United, but their hub is in Newark. So often they're a little less expensive and they go more places because it's
Okay.
their hub. But I don't enjoy my time on a United flight. I really don't enjoy my time on any flight, but I certainly don't enjoy my time on a United flight. I don't know if you guys know this, but United now charges for you to bring on a carry-on.
Wow.
No.
Wow.
So, and they charge you the same amount for a full-size checked bag. It's $35 for each.
That's ridiculous.
So the three of us just went with our personal items, and shoved everything into like backpacks, and we didn't check anything. Now, in addition, you have to pay extra to choose your seats. This is a new feature. But now it's not. So it's not only extra for seats that used to be regular coach, because like now, more leg room. So they'll charge you an extra $15 a seat. Now even for the shitty seats, just to select a shitty seat ahead of time. If God forbid you want to sit with people they're going to charge you for that privilege.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And before I get into everything that happens, Biden and Chuck Schumer have been pushing to crack back on these airlines for stuff like this, all these fees. And for the love of God, I don't understand why the Republicans won't get on board with this. This is not a partisan issue. There are not citizens in the United States that you go, you know what? The airlines don't have it good enough. How dare you?
Really, everybody should be on board, if you'll pardon the pun, with
There
this.
is nobody in red state Alabama that's going, you know what? I have it too good when I fly domestically. How can we make it shittier? And these are the same airlines frequently in our lifetime when they mismanage their funds, which they do, and they come into a hard time that they can't foresee. Sir, may I please have some money, sir? And all of us, through Congress, we empty out our pockets and give it to them. Well, we don't get bailouts, but the airlines constantly get bailouts because I guess we couldn't possibly function without United or Delta or American. We could. We'd be fine. Somebody else would take their place. I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
but we give them money, and then when things are going well, they twist their little mustache, the little oily mustache. How can we screw them more?
Absolutely.
And Biden and Chuck Schumer, the two at the front, go, no, stop it. Why can Congress and Senate not pass this? Unless you have like American Airlines in your pocket, and you have to have pretty deep pockets to fit a Boeing 757. And unless you are getting so much money from them, what congressman or senators is going to get letters from their constituents? This isn't what we put you in for. How dare you say they can't charge us to pick our seats anymore? That's one of the things we like about flying, giving them extra money so we can have a shitty middle seat next to our family.
I mean, you can't pick the seat to be with your spouse or with your kid? That's crazy.
No. It baffles my mind why this can't be done, but then you realize it's so broken. But I don't know why Biden doesn't mention it more. He has mentioned it before. I don't know why Trump doesn't mention it more. I mention it all. I don't know why they don't go, listen, we disagree about everything. The one thing we agree on is you guys are getting screwed. It's a populist message. It really is. It plays well. Joe, am I missing something?
Yeah, no, it stinks for what they put you through.
Yeah.
You know, but I used to love flying. I hate it. I can't stand it.
So we get the flights, and my wife endured. Oh, here's another thing. If you don't check any bags, so we weren't checking any luggage, you can't print out your boarding pass at home or do it through the app. You have to go to the kiosk and deal with it there.
Oh,
I find that the people that don't check bags, they're usually in a rush. The last thing they want to do is stop at a stupid kiosk. But no, that's what you have to do now because they have to make sure you don't have a bag.
That's crazy.
Right, which is very frustrating. It's like, no, we just want to rush through. We got the TSA pre-check. We're not checking anything. This is one of the benefits of shoving everything you own into a little JanSport knapsack. This is the benefit. Yes, all my clothing is wrinkled. Yes, my computer's now in two pieces. But I got to go right to the gate, so it was lovely.
Yeah, but at what cost? What a terrible experience flying is now.
Yeah. So my daughter has a window seat. My wife is in the middle next to her. Then there's somebody on her right, then an aisle, then somebody. Then I have the window like in the same aisle, but in the same row across the aisle, even though there was a seat right in front of them open. So I'm far from them, but whatever, it's fine. The last half an hour of this flight, this filthy animal next to me is doing this thing. He is sticking his finger on the side of his nostril and sniffing in. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding? Blow your nose, you animal.
Oh, God. Terrible.
Now I am giving him the side eye. I am giving him a disgusted side-eye look. And he does not understand English, so I'm guessing my side-eye did not translate into Spanish. But he's a religious, filthy animal, so he's crossing himself as we're landing, and he's got Jesus on his phone. Because you know what? I always
you mean he's one of his contacts, right?
Phone Jesus will save us.
I thought you meant
I guess the great thing about Jesus is, unlike everything else, Jesus can still be reached on airplane mode.
He's got that power.
Yeah. Pip, write that down for me. I might actually use that in my act some point. Like, because you can't communicate with the outside world, and you're in heaven. You're in the heavens. But I guess Jesus is so close by. It's like, I got you on your iPhone. I got your pal. We'll guide you in. And can you blow your nose? So,
please.
We land.
Oh.
Everything's fine. So then we're coming back, and we're now checking one big bag. My wife took a suitcase from her mother, so we're checking one big bag. And they have overbooked the flight by 15 people.
What?
This is on their website because the day before we're trying to check in again, silly us, and they've overbooked it by 15 people, and they're taking the lowest bids. How much of a whore will you sell yourself out to take another flight? Now, to be fair, we had to be at Hofstra at 9:30 in the morning the next day, so we had to leave here at like 7:30. Otherwise, maybe we would have done that. But so that's the night before. That when we get there, they're still looking for 6 people to yeah. Or they'll just bump you anyway. They're like, oh,
Right.
we'll give you compensation. Give me 75,000 miles. Give me, let's talk compensation. So I think they actually had a wound up bumping one person. I think one person got bumped. I don't know, but I think one person got bumped. Now, here's the interesting thing when you can't pick your seats. They kind of have to put you anywhere. So you wind up getting seats you might not normally get. So like I was in the first row behind first class. I could smell the first class. I was this close to first class, which means extra leg room, but you don't get the little TV to watch.
Were you literally rubbing elbows with the first class folks?
If I leaned forward, I could have.
Bag of peanuts and an etch a sketch.
Well, that's funny you bring up peanuts. On this flight, it was 3 hours. They didn't give a snack. I'd never seen that before.
Nothing?
Really?
No, and on the first flight, I fell asleep during the snack, which pissed me off. Not that I was hungry, just like, oh, here's something I could have had.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, I missed the one perk.
I don't know that they give peanuts anymore, but they
No,
certainly
they don't.
Yeah, no, last time I flew, they gave pretzels and soft drink.
Well, they gave us drinks. They give you pretzels and like biscotti or something. They're not doing peanuts anymore because of the nut allergies. Right. So Jerry Seinfeld's going to have to write a new bit from 1988. I don't know what to tell you. So I'm in between these 2 women that are older than me with luxurious legroom. My wife is like in row 28. She's not happy. It's like, I'm going to be right by the bathroom. I'm like, no, you're not. They're like 4 rows away. You're fine. And this. So I got these 2 older women next to me. They both take off their shoes and socks. What are we doing? What are we doing?
No, verboten. No, you don't do that. No.
and they're putting them on the seat back in front of them.
No. Oh, God. No. But did they walk through puddles on the way in? What? And they need to dry out their tootsies? What the heck is going on? Never take off your shoes in an airplane. People, no. No, bad dog.
They treat us like animals.
I'll keep it under the seat.
Oh, you'll take off your shoes and socks?
I won't take my socks off. I'll take my shoes off. I won't take my socks off. I'm not a fucking Amazon.
I don't think you can take anything off. I think at most you could put on slippers. I think you shouldn't.
Yeah, no. Mm.
Well, sometimes I have, because I got arthritis, my ankle, and sometimes it bugs the shit out of me. So I'll take it, but I don't go lounging around the fuselage. I mean,
Joe's wandering around. Who can give me a mani-pedi? I'm here, damn it.
And if I have to use the restroom, I'll put my shoes back on.
I would hope so. Jesus Christ, I wouldn't go into an airline restroom without shoes. I don't even want to go with my own clothing. I want to change of clothes just to go in and out of there.
Yeah, no, you don't want bear anything in a plane. No.
They treat us like animals, and we constantly show them we are animals.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, but that's just everything is more and more pitiful, and you're just, how can companies be so cruel? They're just cruel. Companies and government have become more and more cruel. And
Well,
I don't know what the bottom rung to this
well,
is.
Pip, companies and government are made up of people. We're much more calloused than we were a generation ago. We
Yeah.
talk about it all the time. We are much more cruel and insensitive and uncaring about our neighbor or a stranger or a homeless person. In general, I mean, there's still some wonderful people out there, not flying with me, but
Not on that plane.
but yeah, I'm like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's come to a point to me where just what seemed like, ethical boundaries or, civilized boundaries are just chopped in half every day. And it's just like, really? You couldn't, you have to pay to bring on clothing? What do you expect us to do when we get to the other side of this flight? What?
Well, that's why you got to layer up. You got to wear multiple layers when you get on the flight.
Can you imagine the stank from all these people roasting in all of their clothing,
But you know
sitting in
what? We,
overly
we
warm planes?
we talk about all these people who lose their shit on a flight, and in general, there's no excuse. But it's such a miserable experience. It's hard to feel positive once you get in the fuselage. It just is.
Yes.
Flight, they start a flight. You always see people in suits and dresses, and they're having a nice meal on the plane, and it's all comfortable and stuff. And now it's just horrible.
You know what? You know what? Con Air sees how we're flying and go, it's too cruel. It's not.
Yeah, back in the day, people used to get dressed up to go flying. Now you would come out like a mess that looked like you had slept in those clothing for 2 weeks solid.
Yeah, they're wearing pajamas. It's fucking Delta. It's not Walmart, you heathen.
Yeah, I know they wear pajamas. I know.
What are we doing? Is it that hard to throw in a pair of trousers? Is it that hard? Is it?
Apparently, yeah, it is.
Do you have to wear sweats on an aircraft?
Yeah.
You get out of your pajamas. Some of these people that show up at the airport are just like,
I will say this. We were talking about Subway, getting Subway sandwiches. We didn't get them. But Joe, I might have been the one that had the tuna fish sandwich on the flight, which is a big no-no right there. That's like putting fish in the microwave at the office.
Oh man. We were just talking about that in my office that one of the workers brings home food, like ethnic food that he gets from his family sometimes.
Asian?
I'm not going to say.
No, just say if it's Asian. You're not saying which national. I'll say it. Because I've had a lot of Asian friends. If you're not used to that food, it is the stinkiest food. It's very good at quieting birds. Because even buzzards are like, whatever died, it's been dead for too long. I can't.
It really getting microwaved. It fills the whole office for a while with that food stench.
But what can you say? I mean, it's their right. It's their food.
Yeah, no, it's not like it's fish or something that everybody knows you don't. It's just that it got this potent spice or flavoring combination that's like, oh, damn,
Well, like kimchi is like fermented cabbage. Listen, I'm eating stuffed cabbage right now. Even when cabbage is, in prime form, it's not a delightful smelling vegetable.
No, no. We used to do what my dad would call boiled dinner, and it would be like a cut.
That sounds so delicious.
Yeah.
A boiled dinner, not a microwave dinner, a boiled dinner. We boil it.
Gather around, kids. What are we having? A boiled potato and some socks.
Pretty much. It was a boiled pork tenderloin with potatoes and carrots and cabbage, and we would have that for St. Patrick's Day for sure, but we would eat it other times too. And it was
your dad afraid of the inside of the oven?
No, he was not. He was a cook on a submarine. He was not afraid.
Well, yeah, but those motherfuckers are trapped.
I know.
Where are they running? There's no McDonald's next to the octopus. I mean, you're eating what you're eating.
They had to eat his grub or go without. That
Yeah.
was it.
Ugh, that sounds terrible.
And that was our motto at home. Well, you could tell he cooked a lot of food. Portion control has always been a problem in my family because he cooked for a navy. But
Here's the interesting thing. The food was shitty, but it still didn't stop you from eating too much.
it was plentiful.
Could you imagine if he was actually a good cook?
You know what? He could do comfort food really well, but I wouldn't say that he was like a very, spicy cook at all. That's why I find Wonder Bread to be, too spicy.
It's a
It was
lot.
it was
Wonder
a
Bread does have a
bland.
lot of seasonings.
Yes, it does. It's a little too much.
All right. All right. When we come back, we will start our April Fool's countdown. First one up is sports. So we're going to take a short break. On the break, we have Castle Black with Heart Can't Feel. And you can learn more about Castle Black at deucemusic.com. And we have One Man Sound with Welcome to My House. And you can learn more at khb-music.de. We will be right back. All right. 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Come on. Here we go. I was so right.
My church, welcome to my house, where house music is a way of life. House music is a way of life. Let your soul be free. Let your soul be free. House your body. Dancing on the floor, on and on until 6 o'clock in the morning. Let's all come together. Let's all get together. Remember the old warehouse parties back in the day? We used to go in late at night, dancing on the dance floor until early morning. You remember the sounds of the warehouse when you jacked your body till the early dawn.
Mhm.
It's Davin's Den. It's Davin's Den.
And we're back. You listen to Davin's Den with Pip, Joe, and me, Davin. April Fool's Countdown. This is where we get categories as far as athletes and celebrities and Florida. Florida is a state that deserves its own category. Politicians and the wild card. The biggest fool. Who was the stupidest person of the year? And we don't know who the other one picked. It just has to have been done since they have to have been foolish from our last show, the last time we did this, to tonight. That is the body of work. I am reiterating that for our lovely Pip, so she can check one more time before we do this, because we would hate for Pip to once again be disqualified. And
Thank you.
before we get into this, Joe, how do you feel about your choices? You've been very strong of late. Joe, can't hear you. Can you hear me? Just can't hear Joe. I think Joe hit mute or something.
Uh-oh. Can you
Joe?
hear?
No.
Oh, no. Joe, come
Uh-oh.
back to us.
And poor Joe's trying to land an aircraft. He's in mission
Oh, no.
control.
But you know what? He's having trouble because there's so much luggage on it.
Yes. Yes. The luggage has gotten into the earpiece. All right, I gotta call you both back, I guess.
Okay.
All right. You there? Yeah, now I can. Hold on. Well, hold on. Yes, he said good. Hold on, let me call Pip.
Can you hear me?
I can.
My
Hold
camera
on.
on.
Good.
Are you both there?
Yep.
Hello?
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
try this again. All right.
Yeah.
So
Are we timing these?
are we what?
Timing the segments.
No, we're not timing this segment.
Oh, very good.
No, these first two are untimed, so we can babble on as long as we wish.
Whee!
So, Joe, I was asking you because you've been coming on strong of late in these countdown games. You actually took the Valentine's Day countdown. How do you feel about your April Fools?
Not good.
Okay, Pip, how do you feel?
Wobbly.
Good. All right. I guess there wasn't a lot of fools this year. I don't know. Well, we'll play the theme music and we will see what happens.
Okay.
Welcome to the biggest April Fools. Tonight, somehow the biggest fools of the year.
We shan't be playing the full version of that on the next portion of the
Okay.
show. It's a very long bumper. It's 55 seconds. I will start us off with my candidate for Athletic Fool of the Year. I'm going to go Wander Franco. Have you guys heard of Wander Franco?
No.
All right. Well, he's a shortstop. Was a shortstop. Maybe is a shortstop for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's a young superstar. As a matter of fact, he in November of 2021, he signed an 11-year, $182 million guaranteed contract, which is the most money Tampa Bay has ever given out before. The guy's like only 21 years old, something like that.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. You think when you got that type of money guaranteed, you wouldn't want to screw things up. You would think. You would think. Wander Franco's wife is 21 and is his childhood sweetheart. So, allegation of Wander Franco's inappropriate relationship with a minor first surfaced on social media on August 13th. Several media outlets reported that Franco denied the allegations during an Instagram live segment. He actually went on Instagram when this first broke to deny the allegations. And then like a teammate walks in and goes, yeah, they're just going for the money. Why don't you pipe down, stupid? The Rays placed Franco on MLB's restricted restricted list after the allegations surfaced. And then he was sent home. He wasn't traveling with the team on their road trip. August 16th, the Dominican authorities started investigating Franco. The National Agency for Boys and Girls, Adolescents and Family and Gender Violence Unit in the Dominican Republic was handling the investigation into his alleged relationship with a minor. On the 22nd of August, he was put on administrative leave. Now, that means he's not playing on the team. He's not with the team. He's not on the roster, but he still gets paid. But he's on administrative leave.
Wow.
It's not an admission of guilt, and it's not considered discipline. The discipline comes later with a potential suspension, and then you probably wouldn't get your money. So the age of consent in the Dominican Republic is 18. Meaning anyone who's over 18 who engages in sexual activity with a minor can face criminal charges. Even if Franco is not charged in his home country, it does not preclude Franco from facing punishment from the league, as the Joint Domestic Violence, Sexual Assault, and Child Abuse Policy gives the commissioner power to suspend a player independent of legal authorities. Franco faces a second formal complaint for having an inappropriate relationship with a minor on August 3rd, citing unnamed sources. A special prosecutor in the Dominican Republic was investigating investigating 2 prior claims against Franco, only one of which had been made by a victim who was willing to speak to the authorities. The third girl had not spoken to authorities in the Dominican Republic. So there's 2 who've spoken, a third who has not. Franco was detained in the Dominican Republic on January 1st after he was interviewed by prosecutors about complaints that had an inappropriate relationship with young girls, a person briefed on the proceeding told The Atlantic. Franco was being held ahead of a court appearance. So, no criminal charges have been filed against him. Prosecutors say Franco was involved in a secret plot of child abuse with Martha Amante, the mother of a girl who was 14 at the time, leading to sexual and psychological abuse charges. Amante is currently on house arrest. Records show the teen exposed the allegations of abuse on social media, accusing her mother of using her as a sexual commodity. In text messages, and here's how my guy really seals the deal as a fool. In text messages between the girl and Franco on the WhatsApp platform, he tells her their secret relationship could cost him everything, but it was worth it.
Oh man.
So regardless of what happens, this guy's probably never going to play Major League Baseball again. He's probably going to lose all this money. He had all this money that not only would have made him rich, but his family rich for generations. He is stupid enough to engage with this, put it in writing, and think that this mother isn't going to use this against him at some point. It's like if the teen hadn't exposed it, like the mother wasn't going to blackmail him at some point. He thought, we're just having fun. We're just having a good time.
Ugh.
So anyway, that's my athletic biggest fool.
Painful.
Joe, what do you got?
All right. My biggest fool for the sport was
Oh, making it personal.
Shots fired.
when Aaron Rodgers signed a contract with the Jets. They're going to make it to the playoffs. They're going to go. Finally, they have a marquee quarterback. Well, let's see what happens. In the Jets debut against the Bills, it lasted just 4 snaps before the worst happened. The 4-time most valuable player is suffered a torn Achilles after getting twisted abruptly in a sack on New York's first drive. And basically, confirmed with diagnosis of the Achilles tear, he was out for the season, and the Jets were sunk again.
Well, now hold on here. First of all, as a Jets fan, it wasn't me saying they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I just said it'd be a nice change of pace from watching Zach Wilson, which it wasn't, because we had to watch Zach Wilson anyway. But some Jets fans were like that. But
That is hope.
well, every fan has hope. Every fan has hope. You thought when Steve Cohen bought them. Oh, stop.
Let me tell you something. As a Giants fan, I said it was going to be the third snap of the second game, and apparently I was off by 1 game.
Well.
I knew he would be out. I just figured it was the second game.
Yeah.
Say that. There you go.
Well, you weren't arguing with me. I told you to dumb me up. You weren't arguing with me. I said, shut up, you.
But you knew.
Yeah, well, I knew because I'm not a fool. I knew it wasn't going to end well. We can't have nice things. All right, Pip, what do you have?
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I had technical trouble like usual.
Well, the show sneaks up on you, dear.
A 50-yard mile race, a quick car ride, and a scandal at the finish line.
Okay.
An ultra marathoner was disqualified after covering part of a course in a friend's car. She
Wait, what?
The ultra marathoner was disqualified after covering part of the course in a friend's car.
Now, was it specified that they couldn't use a car?
Yes, it does specify that when it's a marathon, that means feet.
Well, I don't know. There's Marathon gas station, Pip.
Kind of the half-ass premise. You can use the car. There's a bus on the way. You can jump on that thing. Why not?
Sure.
Scooters.
There's no rule at the half-ass.
No, there's a gas station that is called Marathon.
She said it was a miscommunication.
It was a yes, a miscommunication.
This-
Maybe she thought the car was like a Flintstone mobile and she would still be using her feet.
funny.
Funny.
So a rival had a different word. Cheating.
Oh, so harsh.
Yes. Almost any endurance athlete who has ever gone on a long run has probably, at some particularly vulnerable moment, seen a car whiz by and been tempted, if only for a moment, to hook out a thumb, catch a lift, and avoid suffering through the miles ahead. Perhaps that explains why accusations of cheating involving competitive runners seem to crop up every few years. A suspicious time. In the latest incident, a top ranked ultra marathoner had her third place finish in a race in England earlier this month invalidated because she got a ride in a car for 2.5 miles of the 50-mile course.
All right, it's not even a lot, Pip. It's not even a lot.
Enough. It's enough.
Oh, hey, could you run 47 miles? No.
No, but I'm not an ultra marathoner and never said I was.
You couldn't even drive 47 miles. How dare you, woman?
How dare you make me part of the race? I'm not involved in this.
Hey, well, Joe made it personal, so now I'll make it a personal.
There you go. Tracking data showed the runner, Josiah Zakrzewski, whatever.
Yeah. How's it feel? No. How does it feel to wrangle with a hard name, dear?
I saw it coming, and I knew. I knew that I felt your pain.
Your tongue wanted to leave your mouth. It's like, I can't handle this.
I bit my tongue recently, and I can barely handle normal words. So this one, forget it. She had completed 1 mile of the Manchester to Liverpool race on April 7th. April 7th, in a 1 minute and 40 seconds. A split much more likely to be posted by a late model sedan than by a.
Hold on. What was the date?
It was April 7th.
Now, is it after
April 1st to this April 1st. So I'm in. So it's a split much more likely to be posted by a late model sedan than by a 47-year-old human being on two legs. Zakrzewski of Britain was disqualified from the race, and the matter was referred to governing bodies for possible further actions. She said that she had actually quit the race and accepted a ride to tell organizers at the race check-in spot of that decision, but she was encouraged to try to finish the race. She called her acceptance of the third place award a miscommunication. Not everyone, though, is ready to forgive, like the person that really should have won that position. The true third place finisher, Mel Sykes, tweeted of her promotion, "Great news for me, but really bad news for sportsmanship." In a thread on Twitter, Sykes added, "A fellow competitor cheated. She traveled in a car for about 2.5 miles of the M21 50-mile event last week. After an investigation, she has now been DQ'd, and rightly so, disqualified." Organizers confirmed that a runner was disqualified and said that an investigation had revealed a competitor had taken vehicle transport during part of the route. Now, the best part of this is that she thought that nobody was going to notice that she got from point A to point B really, really quickly. So she's got egg on her face.
All right. Well, for my money, Joe actually missed the boat here if he wanted to go with the Jets. If he wanted to attack the Jets for the season, he should have gone after the GM, who actually could have gotten them a legitimate backup quarterback instead of Zach Wilson, because he should have known that Aaron Rodgers was 40 years old. Fans are going to be fans, in my mind. We're always going to hope, just like every Met season, the Met fans thinks they're going to win something, or the Net fan does.
No, not this season. Not this season.
Well, you still think Uncle Stevie's going to buy you a pennant? Uncle Stevie Cohn. That's what you guys think. But yeah.
Trying time is what he's trying. No. This season, no expectations. All my Met fan friends, no expectations.
Well, I'll tell you what, Joe. At 0-5, your team is living up to those low expectations.
I know. And my buddy Don is a day program, big Met fan. He hasn't really watched the game. You know, I glanced at it, but it's like at 0-5, what they're putting on the diamond. I don't have patience with them this season.
And they're very concerned. Anyway, for my money, it's between me and Pip on this one, as far as being fools.
Aha!
Yeah, I mean, I really do. Now, I would also say that yes, Pip definitely has a legitimate fool there. I would definitely say that, absolutely. But I think my guy had much more to lose, and the fact that he typed, "I know this could cost me everything," including his freedom, but it's worth it. I think that's what makes this guy the biggest athletic fool of the year.
You know, I thought that mine was pretty good because it's ridiculous to say that you hopped in a car during a marathon and it was a miscommunication that I won fifth place.
Oopsies.
Oopsies. I didn't say no. Please don't award me with anything. But in the fact that this guy had like over 180 million reasons why he should not diddle the 14-year-old.
Multiple minors.
Yes, I know. But 14.
Ugh.
14. I don't know how old the other ones were, but 14.
It's a little young.
So gross. I have to give it to you on this one. Just because
you gotta give it to him on the simple fact where if there was an argument, this woman got disqualified from a race. The baseball player just ruined his career forever.
And he might go to jail. And he probably ruined his marriage.
Relax.
No, I'm just saying. It's like, how stupid are you? I mean, we see it. Okay, whatever. We're not going to beat it. All right, cool. I'm on the board. I'm on
the board with one.
So now we will go to celebrities, and we will have Pip start us off, and then I will follow, and Joe will close the celebrity category.
Okay. I just have to get to the page.
Taking a shot at my fandom. How dare you?
That was funny.
It was hurtful.
So, for my celebrity fool, I picked Elon Musk.
Oh!
Because although he bought Twitter and ruined it last year, the fact that this has continued to spiral downward, and he actually had the temerity, seeing it was going downward, to say to his advertisers who didn't like how he was handling things, F you. This...
What? Wait, hold on. What? That's not a... Joe will go to you again for sales. Is that a good way to woo clients that might be leaving to tell them F you? Is that work?
Under your breath, yeah, but you know.
He said that he appeared to endorse an anti-Semitic post, and then couple companies like Apple, IBM, and Sony started pulling their ads, and he told the companies that were pulling their ads, go F yourselves. Ooh, well, that was a problem. So now that people were not enjoying the new things that were part of X, and then he had to go and say something endorse something anti-Semitic, and double down and tell the advertisers who were pulling out to F themselves. And then, you know what? He just had to add several cherries on top of the pile, because he had a string of Tesla vehicles catching on fire and exploding.
Hold on, Pip. Now, in his defense, they were catching on fire in cold weather. And I find that what really helps cold weather is heat. So these cars are just keeping their drivers warm.
You know, you would think that they would become the darling of the Live Under the Bridge set, with their ability to create a nice glowing warmth for those folks. But No, really inconvenient when people are inside the metal box and it catches on fire. Not good.
You want to know something? I might give you this. I might give you the win just under that phrase. The live it under the bridge.
It is a good. It is a good phrase. It's a very good. Never heard it before.
I just made it up.
Very, very well done, dear.
Thank you, thank you. He also refused to follow through on a cage fight he initiated with Mark Zuckerberg. He got roasted by rapper Ice Cube. He got roasted by John Oliver. He got roasted by Twitter users. He got roasted by Taylor Swift fans. He just got slammed, bammed, and he deserved it. That's my fool for this year.
Well, my fool for this year is Elon Musk.
Okay.
So, I have more, but maybe I don't need to say more unless Joe comes up with somebody that's so outstanding that I have to really fight for our cause. Because though Pip did hit on a lot of things, there was a lot more foolish stuff Elon did this past year. It was quite, dare I say, we have not seen a downfall from a celebrity this much since last year's Kanye West.
Right.
So,
yeah.
if you guys want me to add on, I can do that, or I can cede my time and let Joe go. It's up to you guys.
Let's see what Joe has.
All right.
Okay. Well, I've got a Sean Puppy Combs.
Oh.
Ooh.
Basically,
there was allegations of violence that bubbled up, and they came to a head during 2023. Faced 3 lawsuits alleging abuse and assault in 1 week, including one former partner, Casey Ventura, in December 2023. That particular case was settled the day after it was filed. So some lawyer said it was in no way an admission of wrongdoing. Yeah, you just throw money to make something go away. Then in December of 2023, Ventura, the Ventura case, several homes was by another woman accusing him from sex trafficking and gang rape. He took to Instagram to plead his innocence, sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any unlawful things being alleged, and I will fight for my name, my family, and for the truth.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Let me stop you right here. If Wanda Franco has taught us anything, that going on Instagram to clear your name with sexual abuse is always the way to go. It always clears your name and everything gets better. I'm glad Pete Diddley was watching Wanda Franco.
Yeah.
in February of this year, Combs was accused of grooming by music producer Rodney Jones Jr., named a 56 abuse lawsuit against Diddy, who had filed a $50 million lawsuit against him. And then they were wondering, there was raids on his property. Reported Combs was also stopped at the airport, which is apparently to the Bahamas. He was not detained. They were tracking his private jet where they feel that he's in Antigua. And basically, he
part of an ongoing sex trafficking investigation. And that's why it's the biggest fool, because it's just the iceberg of all the foolish things he's done.
So now here's the thing, Joe. I consider Diddy, and though the court cases have been in 2023, it would seem that all the foolishness took place before 2023, which would make it
in 2020.
right. Now I know, but like the sex trafficking and stuff, it was like from like 2001 and all that stuff. Like there was an allegation that he had J-Lo smuggle a gun into a club with him when they were dating. So,
but I didn't bring that up.
I know, but all the allegations,
2023.
all the allegations are from prior to.
I understand that, but I believe in prior shows we discussed that even if it was a prior thing, the fact that the case was being brought up in real time and made news in real time of the actual year, it was admissible.
Only if the actions were still ongoing.
There is an action.
Which of these actions is still ongoing in the calendar year?
It's the FBI investigation.
No. I'm talking about like are there allegations that he's still sex trafficking currently, or from April of last year?
That I don't know.
That's the sticky part. That's the sticky Diddy.
Well, that's what made me steer away from it
Me
because
too. Me
as
too.
I am known to have problems with the timeline here, I was afraid that
Well, yeah, that whole thing about Columbus and the biggest fool of last year, yeah. Yeah, we gotta rein that in.
okay, I was a little off of the timeline.
He thought he was in India. What a dum dum.
Well, I was afraid that the judges would say that because the things that he was accused of doing were before
Yes.
the year. But
Yes.
I do remember us having this problem before. And when it was a current, action, like it was a current lawsuit or something, I thought we said that that counts. When
I thought we said if it was still on, if it was still going within the calendar year.
I thought if it was that the case is ongoing, making the news, and the decision of such case pending was in the year of the story, it was admissible.
yeah,
You
that's
can write this stuff down.
we should
What do you want
because
me to tell you? What do you want me to tell you? It's like the Talmud. Take what you want. What do you want me to tell you?
And it's about as a religion.
Yes.
Men of God.
Exactly.
Well, I'm gonna go Elon on this one because we know for sure he did this shit in the calendar year, and there is more stupid stuff I could add to it, like leaving a stupid ER on the building because they couldn't take down the word Twitter all the time, or having a stupid flashing X that he had to take down after a couple of days of putting it on the building because it didn't meet ordinances and people were complaining. So Pip just or the whole Don Lemon thing. So Pip just scratched the surface of how awful Elon Musk year was. Now, it's a shame we didn't know about Diddy's shit last year or when the shit was happening. Because if it was like ongoing and still still happening, Diddy would definitely be a contender. But I think it was too vague, and I think Elon's body of work is too strong of a contender. It's not like we have a weak celebrity here. We have a very strong. He's cost himself billions of dollars with his stupidity. People are leaving Twitter. People don't want to buy Tesla anymore. I have the stats, but I don't think we need them. I think we got to go Elon here.
Well, I mean, I would be foolish to disagree. I mean, I thought it was pretty clear cut that he has made a mess and lost a ton of money. So it seemed to me that he was the clear cut. Sorry, Joe. I'm gonna lean with Elon. You have
How come every year a celebrity, I talk for a living, celebrity category is such a living pain in the ass. You would think, look, I get the post every day. You see on the internet, you're like, well, when you have to go to do it, it's like, yeah, it's going to be a smorgasbord to pick. I mean, listen, I'm not going to kid you. I had to do a hell of a sell job on P. Diddy. I couldn't find.
Here's the thing. I would agree.
Because I kind of like Musk.
I find very often the athletes and the celebrity are the hardest. But to be fair, last year Kanye was a layup.
Yeah.
He was full of it. And a matter of fact, I think we went to battle. Some of us went to battle with Kanye.
I thought, but yeah, Kanye was the one. We've had Roseanne. I mean, once in a while we get layups. But yeah, it is hard. It's not like there's a bunch to choose from. It's like there's usually one that has a really shitty year, and it's just a matter of did everybody think of that one? That's
right.
And it's really frustrating because you go, all right, let's celebrity fool. Google comes up. Celebrities biggest April Fool.
Yes.
They put a whoopee cushion up instead of that damn.
I have the same problem.
Here's why I don't think we allow what we were talking about with the court rule, because we've never used Cosby, and we could have used Cosby. His
going to it was
no. What I'm saying in the years.
22. Yeah, but still, well, you could use Cosby. However, Jesus Christ, 30 minutes ago, I was going to go, what about Cosby because he wants to do stand-up again? It was,
However, the damn story came out December of 22.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I wanted to pick Jada Pinkett Smith because I thought she was a big old mess.
Oh, that was another one where it was a laugh. You know, there
Yeah,
have been years with the whole Will Smith thing. That
the
you guys
but the
took Will Smith one year.
problem was that she came out with her book in March.
No, no,
And
but
now,
what I'm saying, we're talking about how, like you guys came out with Will Smith one year as
yeah,
so there usually is one that is pretty front and center. Every year one celebrity goes, "All right, I'll be the one. I'll be the one that has a shit year."
yeah, well, I thought that,
I got to tell you, it was pretty damn slim. It was pretty much slim pickings this year.
It was, but Musk spoke to me because he's had such a horrendous year. So it's just
because he
I
does
think
speak to
Musk
fake
spoke to you.
Davin.
I think Musk spoke to you because you've been so in depth with the scammer character that you've been looking up like recent events that the real Elon Musk
part of it.
facing with the scammer. So it's like you're up to your neck in it. It's like why wouldn't you go with that?
Well, yeah, that was part of it. Yeah, I mean, there was the whole Ron DeSantis thing. They're whipping out this new technology, and he's interviewing DeSantis when he's declaring, he's going to run for president. And that was a nightmare on Twitter. And he hires Don Lemon, and then he fires Don Lemon because he doesn't want to answer Don Lemon's question. I mean, it has been a brutal year for a guy that was really very highly regarded 5 years ago. 5 years ago, like really, like wading into the politics and buying Twitter has been this guy's downfall. If he could have just kept on inventing shit, like he invented like this Neuralink. So there's this guy who's paralyzed, and Neuralink is some type of chip that they put in your brain. And Elon Musk invented this thing, and just have it because of Neuralink. Some paralyzed guy can now play video games with his mind, and he's thrilled. So he does do these amazing things.
Yeah.
He's like a modern day Howard Hughes.
Yeah.
Where he's this brilliant guy, but some of these guys, they're rich to get them. Well, I don't like the way Twitter's going. I'm going to buy it, and they get out of their wheelhouse with that. I mean, he's brilliant. He's doing well with the Tesla car, the SpaceX is, has been going well. I mean, you've got the new ship that they're working on that's having a problem getting into orbit. But that's like with anything else. I mean, Jesus Christ, NASA's gone through that.
Sure.
I mean, they had for about 3 years. You kept on seeing the re-entry vehicle crash and blow up because the retro rockets weren't, working. And you go, oh, brother,
Yeah.
he figured that out. So,
Well, I figured that's why you're in mission control right now, in case they need to re-land. You get back into our orbit. You're there working for Elon. That's what I figured you're doing right now, Joe.
problem only I can.
That's what I figured. And that's something Elon would say.
I'm glad you're on the case because I've been having problems with it.
So, all right. Yeah. So no, that was good. Celebrities I do find hard. I think athletes might be even harder. Although one year we had that former quarterback for the wide receiver for the Steelers. I can't think of his name right now. He was spectacular. Once in a while you get somebody like Wander Franco. It's not funny, which is the problem. It's just terrible. But then there was you could have gone with this guy Rice, a wide receiver for the Cardinals, and he just got in like a 6-car pileup and walked away. He was like racing his car. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, there's always somebody. But
I have trouble with the sports category because I really don't follow sports. So unless the Yankees are the biggest fools, I'm not going to notice.
Yeah, well. All right. Very, very good. Let's see. Let's do some plugs, and then we'll take our break, and we'll come back for the timed portion of the show. All right. We'd like to thank Sensei Russ Ferdico for his continued support. Thank you, Russ.
Russ, thank you for everything throughout the years. Portobello, Bergen County, New Jersey's most exclusive fine dining Italian restaurant. The Tuscan Villa setting will make you feel like you've been transported to the old country. Every dish, prepared with attention and care to detail, and the Portobello Chefs are happy to cater to any dietary needs. Since during every visit is not just a meal, but an experience. Portobello open for lunch and dinner Monday through Saturday, and on Sunday, Portobello features a sumptuous brunch and a dinner to their dinner menu, which is available all day. And Friday and Saturday night, Portobello features live entertainment starting at 9 p.m. Portobello Banquets, that's your destination for that.
Why? Because their professional staff will ensure that event will not be just an occasion, but a memory. Portobello Banquets will also nights throughout the year, which is side fully collection of Davin said, which is huge, sir. Anything coming up soon?
We will probably have an announcement for the summer in the coming weeks.
Very good. Why people outside, great insight, great show experience. All of them know how to walk 175 Ramapo Valley Road in Milton, New Jersey. Learn more. Get the call. 201-378-990. That is 201-378-990. Or visit their website, portobello.com. Serve the best. This is a great night out. You deserve Portobello.
Side Spinning Productions, all your stand-up comedy needs, now specializing in 55 and over communities, because I'm close and I'm going to be living there soon. Actually, I probably won't. I couldn't possibly, but I'll still perform there because I'm a whore. Anyway, sidespinningproductions.com. Give us a call, 551-404-3094. Joe, any place to see you this week?
Yes, this Saturday, April 6th, is going to be the Joe Curry Birthday Extravaganza going on at the Giggle Room at Governor's. It's going to be a 7:30 show. Go to govs.com and check that on out, and we will see everybody there.
How is there a Joe Curry extravaganza and I'm not invited? How does that happen?
I'm trying to push it that way too.
Oh, well, what are you producing a show there?
Fantastic! I'm doing it. I'm doing the middle spot there. I'm trying to get people asses in.
Oh, I thought there was a show where we're celebrating you or something. You were headlining and you had like all your friend comics. I didn't know you were lying to the people. I apologize.
Talking about nobody's coming. Nobody would do that for me. I got to do this all on my own.
I thought you were. That's why I was upset I wasn't invited.
Don't worry. It's the Joe Curry Birthday Extravaganza, and they get
All right, go laugh at Joe.
Tickets and information.
There you go. It sounds a little sadder now. I'm sorry I asked. Sorry. Go see Joe. Go to Long Island. Go see Joe. Because I'm doing it.
Get there and go. He doesn't invite me. Well, I'm walking to give a piece of my mind. Why is Rooney headlining?
Well, I got a private event, so you can't see me. So go to Long Island. Go see Joe. Cheer him up. Pinch his little cheeks. That's what you should do.
Both sets.
Yes. All right. On the break, we got new music from Black Domino and Sean Clover with Tonight, and new music from M4G with brand new funk. You can learn more about both them at khb-music.de. When we come back, we will continue the countdown. We will start with one of my favorite categories, Florida Man. We'll be right back. All right. We have 6 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, this segment is 10. We're just going to try to jam it all in. That's what we're going to try to do here, see what we can do.
All right, 1 second. I just got to get to the stopwatch.
Get to the stopwatch, woman.
All right.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Joe, you're going to be going first on this one.
It's Wrecking Ball Radio.
Shut up and entertain. There's no rules. There's no rules.
Holy it's amazing.
I see our sarcasm and nastiness grow.
It's Davin's Den.
Good evening, everybody. You are listening to Davin's Den. Yes, Davin's Den, the show that is better than being a fool rushing in. You're better than that, I promise you. I am your host, Davin Rosenblatt. I am joined by Joe Curry.
Yes, hello everyone. How everybody's good?
Yes, everybody's good. And Pip Helix. Hello, Pip.
Hi, everybody.
On the show tonight, the April Fool's Biggest Fool of the Year countdown. We'll be looking for the biggest Florida man fool, the biggest political fool, and the biggest overall fool of the year on the podcast. Kind of like the Oscar Awards, where there's stuff that you don't see that was off camera. On the podcast, we've already determined who the biggest athletic fool was, biggest fool in sports, and the biggest celebrity fool. So we certainly encourage you to listen to that when you can. You can download the podcast, see how that turns out. Right now, I want to get to our theme music here, which is going to take me longer than I'd like it to. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I can't see. Here we go. Christ.
Gentlemen and Pakistan fans across the world, welcome to the biggest baseball meeting Davin, Chips, and I have now the biggest balls of the year.
All right, we're going to start off with Florida Man. Florida is a newer category that we came up with a couple of years ago, just because Florida's always contributed so many fools in the past. So this has to have either taken place in Florida or be somebody who is from Florida. So that's the qualifications for this. Joe will lead us off in the Florida Man category. Always very competitive.
Yes, Florida Man, my pick for 2024. Florida Man loses an arm to an alligator after using pond as a bathroom.
Well, that's where you get the phrase pond scum.
Oh no.
A 23-year-old Florida man lost his arm to a 10-foot alligator outside of a Port Charlotte restaurant. He was airlifted to a local hospital early Sunday morning. While it is definitely a weird feeling for him to feel like his arm is still there, but it's not, he told WBBH. He is just grateful to be alive and for the angels that saved him. Early Sunday morning, Justin was visiting a local restaurant, Bandito's Bar, and the bar overlooks a large lake that is home to multiple Florida wildlife species, including alligators. Restaurant regulators said that it's pretty common for customers to feed the gators and throw food in there, which is legal to do. One customer said that the gator that attacked Justin was feeding when the attack happened. He admitted that to WBBH that when he was at Bandito's restaurant, the line from the bathroom was extremely long, so he decided to walk at the pond.
Aye.
At the time, he couldn't see how big the body of water was or the gator.
So that moment, he does not know when he stopped landing in the water, but it's the last thing he remembers. Basically, he had a bunch of people that did come and pull him out and save him after being bit by the alligator. And he calls the people that saved him angels that saved his life. He also calls the alligator an untouchable name we can't mention on this platform.
Oh my.
You know what I call the alligator? Full. All right.
It's like he's probably going around people way. Who doesn't like people?
Alligators love it. Oh, that's strong. What do you got, Pip?
Florida man's joyride in stolen ambulance ends at sheriff's office.
Oh, I saw this one.
Yeah, Tampa, Florida. A Florida man led deputies on a chase that ended at their front door. On December 9th, just before midnight, a Columbia County deputy was arresting paramedics in a van. The deputy was assisting paramedics with a man experiencing an altered mental state, like I seem to be, and possibly under the influence of drugs in Watertown. According to the news release, the patient, identified as Stanley Williams, 35, climbed into the front of the ambulance and sped off. As a chase ensued, the ambulance struck a curb, damaging a tire. And then there's a picture of him up in front of the sheriff's office. This chase ended when the ambulance drove onto the front lawn of the sheriff's office operations center. The grass was damaged, but there was no damage to the building. Oh, thank goodness. It's not every day a pursuit ends at our front door, Columbia County Sheriff Mark Hunter wrote in a statement. This just goes to show that we never know what we will encounter from one moment to the next. I'm glad nobody was hurt and the suspect was not able to pose a greater risk to our community. Williams was taken into custody without incident and was taken to the hospital to be checked out. He faces charges of grand theft and fleeing and eluding. He didn't elude that long, though.
All right. I feel good about mine, kids. I feel good about it. A Florida woman is facing felony charges after she allegedly broke into a U.S. Coast Guard installation, stole a tricycle, and drove it onto an active taxiway at St. Pete Clearwater International Airport.
But she stole she drove a what into the airport?
She broke into the Coast Guard and stole a tricycle and drove that onto a runway. But we're not done. We're not done. The Pinellas County Sheriff's Office arrested the woman last week after she allegedly scaled the fence of the U.S. Coast Guard Air Station Clearwater, stole a tricycle, and rode past no trespassing signs at Terminal A of the busy airport before being noticed by employees watching surveillance footage, according to a report from the Tampa Bay Times. The woman, who according to a Coast Guard spokesperson, allegedly first tried to gain access to one of the aircraft, eventually ditched the tricycle and attempted to board an Allegiant airline flight bound for Argentina. So she wasn't done with breaking into the Coast Guard, stealing a tricycle, riding on the runway. She then tried to break into a plane. And what type of plane? Allegiant. Allegiant stinks. People are trying to break out of that plane. How are you trying to break into it?
Did she try to take the tricycle as her carry-on?
I think she might have, and that's where she got charged the extra fee.
Oh.
So this is Clearwater is the Coast Guard's busiest and largest air station in the world, and is housed 2,000 acres. All right, like I said, she broke into law enforcement to commit a crime. Tries to board a plane without a ticket. Tries to make that Allegiant. Steals a tricycle. Which let's be honest. Out of all the hilarity of all of this, if you look out the window and you see a grown woman on a tricycle on a runway, on an active runway, you're stopping and you're losing your mind. You're laughing right there. I mean, I don't even think this is a contest.
What is a tricycle doing at an airport?
They use it. Well, they like to have a good time, pal. They use it to like transport.
The jet belongs there. Where's this tricycle coming?
Well, I'm assuming they ride it like we used to when we were bigger kids, when you put your foot on the back and then you hold the handlebars and you kind of use your other foot like it's a scooter. I'm assuming that's how most people ride it. I'm assuming she wasn't taking her comedy headshot and riding it like a 3-year-old, although maybe she was.
I'm picturing a 3-year-old style.
Listen, guys, I don't even think this is close. But if it is, I will argue it. But I mean, really, is there nothing more Florida man / woman than this story?
She's like a tricycle hijacker.
I mean, come on. And she breaks into the Coast Guard.
I think my story, but at least she left with a limb. Yeah. When you go to use the bathroom and you're that stupid, then you fall in, and then an alligator comes on and snacks on your arm. I think that's pretty foolish. I think that's more foolish than yours.
No, I don't think it's more foolish. I think yours is second. I would not have picked Pips on this one.
I really thought that alligator was going to take a bite out of his bum. When you said that he had to go to the bathroom, I'm just picturing him like hunkered down to do his business, and all of a sudden, jump, get a rump roast.
All right, Pip, you got to break the tie here, unless Joe thinks that yours is second to his.
I'm thinking that I really, really like both of them, but I'm gonna have to go with the picture I had in my head of the tricycle going down the airport runway.
All right. Thank you. Wise decision. We'll be right back. I mean, that's hilarious. Although Joe had a very strong story. Very strong story.
Something
went wrong with my timer.
How is this tricycle? This woman is running out, and there's a tricycle. Oh, no, what the hell is a tricycle doing there? Everything on an airport base. Airport base. It's not a preschool. It's an airport. It's the bombers and pump crafts and all sorts of and a tricycle.
I just pictured the knees going up and down, trying to get someplace on this stupid bike. Oh God!
All awesome. Right, this next segment is 9 minutes. Obviously, we're not going to get through all of it. It's political. I guess I'll go first on this one. Let me just cue up the music here. I mean, I got so much on this one, but
Okay.
I'll try not to use it all because I don't know. It's really hard to do this under this constraint.
Yeah, it's hard under this framework.
Yeah.
So we have
All right.
9 minutes?
9 minutes on this one. We're not going to get
Ooh.
the whole set. We're not going to get the whole segment in. We're going to do the best
Yeah.
we can. All right. Here we go.
It's Wrecking Ball Radio. This is Davin's Den.
We're back. You listen to Davin's Den. We're in the middle of our April Fool's countdown. We just did Florida Man. We had 3 great stories. The winning story was mine, a woman who broke into the Coast Guard to ride a tricycle on a jetway and break into a plane. Because of course she did. Because it's Florida. So the next category here is political. I don't know if this one's obvious to everybody. It might be. But I went Bibi Netanyahu as my biggest political fool of the year. Pip is blown away, so that was not on Pip's
Wow.
list.
Wow, wish I thought of that.
All right, so let me go through some of this. I can't go through it all because it's been such a horrible year for him, and it's cost so money. So he's facing huge weekly protests domestically. Because he wants to overhaul the court system to give the courts less power, so the government can pretty much do what they want. So there's a lot of civil unrest in the country, to the part where the military said if Netanyahu continues with this, they're not going to show up to do their job. That's how much civil unrest there's been in Israel the past year. So we know about the October 7th attacks on Israel by Hamas. Leading up to that, apparently they had the plans in their possession about what Hamas was going to do, and they didn't act on it. They didn't act on the plan. Even worse,
I don't know if they do the same thing here, but it should be grounds for impeachment.
Yeah.
Or removal.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think. But he's clinging to power. Also, you want to make it even worse? So they know Qatar is giving money to Hamas. They know this is happening. So what does Israel do under Netanyahu? Okay, that's cool. We're going to escort you with the briefcases of money to give to Hamas because we want to strengthen Hamas so we can cripple the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank because we don't want a two-party solution. He is strengthening terrorists. Not only does he...
Let me get this straight. He's bribing. It sounds like he's bribing Hamas so they don't deal with the Palestinian Authority.
He doesn't want a two-state solution. So they are willingly giving the Qataris are giving Hamas money, and Israel is escorting it into them, giving it to Hamas themselves. So yeah,
that's insane.
That is insane, and he hasn't gotten the hostages back. It took Israel as much as 26 hours to react on the long end after the attacks. On the short end, it was 8 or 9 hours. Now, keep in mind, the only reason this guy's in power is because he's supposed to keep people safe. That's the only reason. He's a hawk. And what did they do the day before the attacks? They moved some platoons away from Gaza to the West Bank. So, and the weeks leading up, women were saying, hey, it looks like they're practicing to do something, and they were ignored. This all falls under Netanyahu, and because of Netanyahu, and because of the way he's waged the war, recklessly killing 30,000, if you count from Hamas's number, civilians, he's made the Jewish people the victims and Israel the victims into the place that everybody hates because he's so indiscriminate. After he was warned by Biden, don't make the mistakes that we make. You have to get Hamas, but you can't be reckless about it. And he's been reckless. And today they just killed some of those people with a chef. They feed the poor and the hungry. I mean, that's not his fault, but this is all underneath his watch. He has made Israel a pariah. Israel was working on relationships in the neighborhood with the other Arab countries. Now they want nothing to do with him, and this is all because of Netanyahu's ego. He is my biggest political fool of the year.
Wow. Wow, a lot of that I didn't realize. And I mean, I already thought that you know, what Israel's been doing is disgusting, but that is, ignoring the signs ahead of time. That's even worse. Letting people die, knowing it's coming, just so that you can go to war. Horrible.
Now, has that been proven, or is that
Oh, yeah, no,
speculation
this has all been reported in the New York Times.
in the New York Times?
Yeah, this has been out there for months, since December.
Sometimes the New York Times is kind of anti-Israel, so I don't know if that.
All right, well, it's not a blog, Joe. We're going to have to allow it like we would allow Fox News. You know, it's news.
So, who goes next?
Joe can go next.
All right.
George fell from the House, charged with an allegation. George GOP Representative George Santos of New York was expelled from the House in a bipartisan vote Friday with dozens of his Republican colleagues joining Democrats and ousting him. Santos is a temporary mobilizer scandal. He won the election last year, which by lying, and he faces a slew of federal charges related to illegal election fraud and campaign finance violations. Closest allegations in detail in a federal indictment handed down earlier this year. And the House Ethics Committee issued their own scathing report earlier this month. Santos refused repeated calls for his resignation and survived prior attempts to remove him from office. The first attempt was led by Democrats in May. He was originally indicted by the Justice Department. Republicans renewed the expulsion effort in October following a superseding indictment. But Friday's vote of 311 to 114 made it clear that his support among many of his Republican colleagues has eroded. The charges and allegations against Santos in October, prosecutors hit Santos with an initial intent count that accused him of conspiracy to commit offenses against left, wire fraud, making false statements to the Federal Election Commission, falsifying records, aggravating identity theft, and access device fraud. In total, he's charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit offenses against the United States, 2 counts of wire fraud, 2 counts of making materially false statements to the Federal Election Commission, 2 counts of falsifying records submitted to the instruct the FEC, 2 counts of aggravated identity theft, 1 count of access device fraud, 7 counts of wire fraud, 3 counts of money laundering, 1 count of public funds, theft of public funds, 2 counts of making materially false statements to the United States House of Representatives. And with all that, during Biden's State of the Union speech, he announced that he will be returning to the area of politics and challenging Dick Lota over the battle for New York 1, Santos wrote on X. I look forward to debating him on the issues and his weak record as a Republican, fight for the majority, the better, the survival of the country. The former congressman was represented as New York Spirit District and made the announcement during President Biden's speech, State of the Union speech, and he responded at the U.S. Capitol. And everything, I vote George Santos, the biggest political fool.
Well, see, now last year we didn't use Santos for the same reasons because he didn't commit it within the time frame. That's why I didn't mention Netanyahu is also having on trial for fraud and all sorts of various things too, because it didn't happen in the time frame. Pip, how much time do we have in this segment?
We have 9 minutes, but right now we're down to 8:30.
8:30. Why don't you tell us who you're going to use, and then we'll get to it in the we'll get to the meat of it in the next one.
George Santos.
Oh, oh, but it's not even all right. All right. So no. Men have died.
What do you mean? No. Yes.
Because he didn't do this stuff this year. All right.
Ah.
Thing about it. All
Well,
right.
we'll deal with this on the other end. Men have died. All right. Let's
Men have died.
Men have died. Here we go.
Now we have 10 minutes, right?
Yes, this segment is 10 minutes. Here we go. All right. You ready?
Yep.
This is Davin said. It's Davin said.
All right, we are back. You were listening to Davin's Den. We are doing the biggest fools countdown, and we were on the political fools. I had Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, and Pip and Joe had George Santos. So we had not determined who it was, but we will continue it now. So that's why we didn't use Santos last year. I remember we all had the conversation because he did all that. Like we were like, "Oh, George, why couldn't you do this when we knew about it?"
The fact of the matter is if we brought him up, and we brought all of the allegations up, okay, and stated, well, we're voting for him for being the fool for these allegations, okay, you could turn around and you can make that argument. However, we use those allegations as a platform, okay, not as a current, but as a platform for the simple fact that during the State of the Union address, he made the announcement that he was going to be running again.
Okay, all right. So all the let me get this straight. So all the evidence is inadmissible, but it is admissible for the purpose of showing how stupid he is. Because after all that, he wants to run again. Do I have this right?
Exactly.
That is correct. That is correct, Counselor.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, all right. Well, when you
As a
say it
matter
like
of
that,
fact, yes, keeping it in mind that all the other things happened earlier, but as Joe said, like the title of the article that I was using as my basis is George Santos leaving Republican Party, running for re-election as an independent. And it was about him announcing his candidacy as an independent and striking out against his opponent, and the ridiculousness in that he thinks that he has any way to become a member of the House again.
Listen, I'm not going to say he wouldn't. I'm not saying he couldn't. I mean, who knows? The Democrat and the Republican split the vote. He could eke in. We've seen crazier things happen. It wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, there have been crazy things, but the thing is, he said that one of the most crucial quotes was that since he has decided now that he is distancing himself from the Republican Party, he says, I, in good conscience, cannot affiliate myself with a party that stands for nothing and falls for everything. Oh, excuse me, Mr. Conman. You're playing.
He knows.
No, what a fool you are.
Yes.
He didn't vote for him. I think the guy's pretty smart.
And I think in Netanyahu's case, yeah, there's a lot of things he did, but I don't think Netanyahu made these decisions in a foolish way. I think he may have made it in a strategic way because he's ultra conservative and hard.
Joe, what strategy says give the terrorists money?
Well,
yeah, I'm sorry, go.
No, you were making a good point.
Was he? I haven't heard it.
It's a strategy where if you could buy Hamas off, they might back down, and the goal is bringing the Palestinians.
Let me ask you guys a question: was Hamas bought off? No, it was a stupid plan because he's a dummy. He's a fool and he needs to go. It most definitely did not work at all. He's ruined everything. Israel has never been more on the precipice than it is now because of this bumbling old man who needs to go. He's by far the worst politician. And God knows we've had conversations about bad politicians on this show, doing this countdown and many other things. But we have never dealt with anyone. It's been a while. This guy's pretty damn bad.
Look at him stuttering to get to the whole point is really bad.
I mean, listen, you guys have the numbers. But the question is, are you guys in good conscience really going to vote George Santos for declaring, or for Benjamin Netanyahu for essentially ruining everything Israel's been building to for years?
But the question remains to be seen with the conflict ongoing.
It's not going well, Joe.
I understand, but has he failed? Is the conflict
Yes. There are protests by the thousands in the street every day for him to resign. Even he is so unpopular. The people are demanding, where are our? There's still 130 hostages in Gaza. He hasn't gotten them back yet. Yes, he's an utter failure. You could not fail worse than this guy. To quote somebody who we all admire, a complete disaster.
I felt at first, when you were talking about him, that it sounded like he's just trying to be like an evil genius. And okay, I'm going to take this tactic that nobody would expect, and that's going to work out for me. And I was thinking, well, that sounds more evil genius than it does fool. I think, Santos is obviously a buffoon. But the thing is that what you just said, that it's a tactic that didn't work, and it really backfired on him, because now the world is looking at Israel and going, what are you doing? And if that was his plan, which I didn't know, then that certainly does qualify for foolish, and with a really much bigger payoff, if you will. So I kind of want to go with Davin against my own better judgment.
It's the right decision because Netanyahu's a fool on such a huge scale. That's what it is. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, listen, we could have gone Lauren Boebert given a handy during Beetlejuice. We could have gone that route, but
that was my other choice.
Right. But then there's Netanyahu and Israel going, hey, I'm over here. No, let's ignore the plans. Let's give Hamas the money. I got this all under control. And now everybody hates Jews out loud.
Out loud. Yeah. Well, it's like I really was thinking about the whole Lauren Boebert, because I do despise that woman, and I thought, oh, that's so funny. But it really felt like slut shaming. I mean, that was very foolish, but it really felt like, yeah, I don't know if I want to go with that.
You know what they say? If you give it 3 shakes, a white ghost appears. Just like Beetlejuice.
I've never heard that before, but I have seen it done.
Yes, she's a very enthusiastic fan of the arts. All right, cool. So I got Netanyahu.
Joe, say your point.
Well, Pip gave it to me.
But
Pip gave
Joe
it to me.
Point to make.
But basically, our stories were the same. So I have my say in that. I still think that in the end, Netanyahu made a mistake. Because the conflict is not over, I still think that maybe in hindsight, some of the moves he's making, in hindsight, may have been correct. And
what move?
Out on
Which was it giving Hamas the money, or ignoring the plans for them to invade, or watching your relationships with all the Arab nations around you deteriorate? What he's playing 25-dimensional chess. Pip, make the call. Pip, make the call.
Davin.
All right, we move on. Biggest fool of the year. That's the problem with the time limit. We can't argue for 20 minutes about it. So
yeah, we have lots more to say. That's why I'm just like, okay, cut to the chase.
Yeah. All right.
We got one more to go.
Yeah, so this
Yeah.
is and we got one segment, 10 minutes and 50 seconds.
Do you not have another one, Joe?
No, I'll figure something out.
Okay, you need the biggest.
George Santos again.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, is it 10:50?
10:50 is the last segment.
Right, so this is 10.
Wait, no, that was no, we just did 10.
We did 9.
Yeah, no, we did 9 and then 10.
Oh, okay. This
We
was
did-
just now 9 minutes.
It was supposed to be 10.
Fuck.
That usually is 3 minutes.
Funny. Yeah, we did 10, then 9, then 10.
Oh. All right. I got lost. I thought that this was
So what do we have to argue for another minute?
yeah.
Okay.
But you know what? We could we could argue for another minute
All right.
easily.
Okay.
You know how many times I've said that?
Well, when you say it, it's true. All right. Let's argue for one more minute so I can finagle this. Although knowing that I have the outcome, we will let Joe expound a little bit more because
Yeah.
Joe wanted to add more to say.
Yeah.
So wait, what do you? So Joe, you're totally discrediting that he's ruined the Middle East?
Yeah, because the conflict is not over yet. It's still ongoing.
How many innocent people have to die until it goes? Okay, he screwed up. How many do we need?
Yeah, you know any mistakes America made in wars?
Yeah, but they weren't. Well, not while we were doing the show.
But the wonders that the recovery that in the end that it recovered from.
Yeah, Iraq and Afghanistan worked out well. Vietnam was a hoot. We make a lot of, but we weren't doing the show then, and we didn't have them as
Wait till we're rolling.
What?
We are. Vietnam was a hoot.
You're wasting arguing time to build up the minute.
What are you talking about? We're arguing.
We're not rolling.
Yes,
yet.
we are.
Yes, we are.
Oh, are we?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Jesus, what am I working with tonight? You give these kids 1 week off, and it all goes to hell.
We sort out. All right.
See, kids, we argue with.
No.
Wait.
I'll tell you what, Joe. You have shown to be you're so precise and profound. I nominate you for Netanyahu's cabinet. Pick who wins.
So Davin's got it.
All right. When we come back, the biggest fool of the year. Ay. That's going to be fun in editing.
Oh my God, we're not on. We are.
I didn't know we were tailing this. I didn't know we were tailing the last segment. I thought we were beginning the next one.
No, we had to go back. We had to go back.
You hear the damn clock go off. I thought we were doing all right. You got an editing job. God punish you.
So,
You and your pal Netanyahu.
Oh, jeez. That doesn't.
No, he's not my pal.
All right.
so now this last one is the last one. This is 10:50.
10:50. Yes. Joe, do you have anything to plug?
No, not now.
Okay. Nor do I. So we can take it to the end.
We're not
Yeah.
going to do my plugs.
You have something to plug?
No.
You're an ass.
Yes.
All right. 10 minutes and 50 seconds. Are we ready?
Yes.
It's Davin's den. It's Davin's den.
All right, we are back. We're counting down to the biggest fool so far. We had Florida woman riding her bike onto the jetway, and we had Benjamin Netanyahu as your biggest athletic fool. But now the wild card. Now there are no categories. We're just looking for the biggest fool of the year. There's been surprises. There's been surprises. We'll have Pip go, then Joe, and then I'll finish it off.
Okay, well, my biggest fool of the year is Donald Trump.
Wow. Now, Donald Trump has won this category back to back, but not in a few years. Pip is
No,
getting
not
ready
in a
for
while.
election season.
I well, I think that given all of the various indictments and trials that he's undergoing this year, that in and of itself is quite a body of work. However, there are also other things that I'd just like to add to this that makes it especially foolish.
Well, I will give you a hint. You definitely should add to it because the things that he's on trial for did not happen in this year. Now, I can make an argument for you about those trials, but go on, dear.
I know. Well, the thing is that now he has become a Bible salesman to make money for his law fund, for his case about giving hush money to a porn star and using his election funds to
Now,
do
in
so.
his defense, I'm guessing that if it was remotely good, somebody might have invoked the Lord's name. Go on.
Could have happened. The gold shoes. The golden shoes. This is so ridiculous. What buffoon is going to sell these golden shoes like the way he's got all his golden fixtures in his apartment? Stupid. Really stupid. Then the rants on Truth Media, Truth Social, or whatever it's called,
Truth Social.
Truthiness, on the verbal diarrhea attack on Easter, going on and on. Happy Easter, except for you people that I hate. This
Yeah,
is
that's the Lord's message.
it's completely unhinged. And the other things that are just so
Wait, hold
ridiculous.
on. Didn't Jesus just give fishes and loaves to the people he liked? I'm pretty sure he did.
Yeah, but they weren't covered in gold lame.
No.
They now then the guy everybody knows he cheats on golf, but he has a golf open at his own club and he gives himself the prizes. It's just so embarrassing at this point. I mean, he just said at one of his whistle stops for his campaign that he spoke to the victim's family, this poor woman that was killed by one of the illegal immigrants, and he spoke to the family. No, he didn't. The family said, no, he didn't.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that's a bad one.
Yeah. He ignored his own grandchild when they toddled by him. He is just a despicable buffoon. And I could go on, but we don't have that much time.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to be hard to get Mr. Curry's vote on that one. Joe,
I know.
so I admire the moxie, dear. Joe, what do you
I
have?
don't feel Joe backing me up on this.
No, I don't feel that at all.
Florida man accused of posing as a drug cartel captive, extorting $80,000 from his wife to support his drug habit. Melbourne, Florida. Man who pretended he was involved in the drug cartel allegedly extorted his wife over $81,000 in support of his drug habit. Paul Johnson, 29, was reported missing by his wife in December 2023 after allegedly being held by ransom from a very cartel. The woman returned home from work and received multiple messages from an unknown phone number demanding sums of money, the deputy said. Johnson reported the woman believed blackmail, calling a man named Troy to help him. The man he heard would come home if his wife did not send the money to Johnson.
So wait, hold on. Let me get this so far. Wait, hold on. I'm not. Did the guy disappear? The guy pretended to be kidnapped? Is that what the guy did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Running from whoever your husband sent after me in our business is only a matter of time before they catch me. 500 now for my family, or again, things will happen soon. 500.
It's 500 now, or he won't take you to the wedding. This wasn't the first time Johnson allegedly disappeared from ransom. 2 months before the reported kidnapping, Johnson began disappearing because of the money he alleged owed to the cartel. As soon as she paid the ransom, Johnson returned shortly after. Johnson was also in possession of his wife's car when he was reported missing that day. His wife said she believed he returned to her house the day of the kidnapping because she saw the outfit she previously seen him in wearing in their bedroom, an affidavit showed. The day after Johnson went missing, officers located him after he was captured on camera driving on US 190 in Melbourne. said he was the one who sent the text message. I don't know numbers his wife, alleging he was kidnapped because he had a cocaine problem. Johnson said he never told Brooks before and it was just a personal use. The search of Johnson's phone received as a woman went to visit, revealed that he went to visit a woman he was texting when he was reported missing from his wife. When the couple met in May 2020, Johnson disclosed he used cocaine and marijuana, also worked for the drug cartel. He said he was running a large quantity of cocaine, which ultimately intercepted and resulted in the loss of $60,000. She helped him pay off that alleged debt. The couple has been married for 11 months, but has been dating since May 2020. About 2 years before the couple married, Johnson allegedly stole $9,000 from his wife after using his debit card at ATMs around Belfort. I am not taking his wife as the biggest fool of 2023-24.
Oh, his wife.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
All right. I feel good here, kids. I feel good.
All right.
An alleged plot between friends to collect more than $1 million insurance payout failed, leaving the pair no better for having frozen one man's leg to the point of requiring amputation, prosecutors say. The two Taiwanese college students identified as Zhang and Liao, both 23, are now facing criminal fraud charges, in part because investigators know Taiwan is a subtropical region and cases of severe frostbite requiring amputation due to natural climate factors in the flatlands are unheard of. Prosecutors claim Zhang took out 8 insurance policies in the days before, immersing his legs in a bucket of dry ice for about 10 hours. Per Taiwan News, at a hospital, he allegedly claimed to have suffered from extreme cold while riding on a scooter with Liao that night. Hospital staff didn't buy it. It was well above freezing in Taipei on January 26, 2023, the day Zhang claimed to have been riding the city. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's good. Wait, is 2023 good? January? Wait a minute. No.
2020. Wait, what part of the year? January?
No, it's no good. Ah.
Oh.
Oh, look at that.
Wow.
But it's
You
weird because
never
it was
did that.
posted. It was posted in March of this year. Huh.
Oh,
There you go.
that's the stuff that gets me. But wait a minute.
All right.
So
So
he
now I gotta decide between you two. How much time do I have, Pip?
You have a minute and 30.
Joe, summarize why you think the woman is the biggest fool as quickly as possible.
Because she kept on giving money and she didn't pick up on something that was so blatantly obvious. You can't be that stupid.
Well, you can.
You can.
Now, here's where I have problems with Donald Trump, Pip.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to affect him adversely. That's the thing. That's the problem. Like you and I sitting there go, this is utterly ridiculous. But the people buy the sneakers. They buy the Bibles. The judges don't throw him in jail for intimidating him. He can pretty much do whatever he wants. So, like, I almost feel like there have to be consequences.
Well, I mean, to the outer world, when you do all these things, like he just squeaked by getting that $175 million bond.
But he got it.
But he got it. But he was just so lucky that they lowered it. He was never going to.
Joe, what were the consequences for this woman? How did she suffer?
She suffered by losing all, giving this money away to her husband that was lying to her, telling that he was kidnapped and over multiple times, and then swindled her before. You can't be that stupid.
And she's got no recourse to get this money back?
As far as the story says, no.
I mean, you have a body of work. I mean, both have a body of work. What was the foolish thing that happened within the calendar year, Joe, of what we're playing with? What would happen then within the calendar year?
Within the calendar year?
Yeah, from last April to now. Because I know you were mentioning things quickly.
I get the money that this woman was giving to her husband, saying that he was kidnapped.
And that started when?
That story.
No, that started when? When she started giving the money.
It was 2020, but this went on into 2023, which still validates what's going on.
I think I have to give it to Joe for the simple reason that it doesn't. They seem to love him more the more ridiculous he is. I think that's the biggest flaw because she had to suffer consequences. It kills me to say that, Pip. It kills me
Thank
to
you.
say that.
I'm glad that it kills you to say that because it's a horrible, horrible outcome. But
Most certainly is. All right.
okay.
It's been a fun show. Congratulations, Joe, on getting the last one. Congratulations to me for getting all the others. Thank you guys for listening. If you like us, tell a friend. If you hate us,
Tell no one.
either way, please keep on listening. Oh, that pained me. Oh, that pained me.
It pained me more. But I get your decision, but it's like, the fact that there are no consequences for all of this ridiculousness kills me.
I gotta tell you something. Next time we get in an argument with technicalities, I do have to hand it to you because basically you caught something in your own story and said I gotta back out.
Yep.
And also,
I always that.
I will.
No. We will reflect back to this night on this show, saying no. The honorable Judge Davin Rosenblatt that's behind his principles along the rules of the game.
I always do, and it's a shame, man, because I had a doozy of a story, but I said January 26th, son of a bitch.
And let me tell you, my story there, I had it, but I didn't pick it. And I always carry some extra stories just in case. And I'm like, there's a fourth story? I'm like, oh, this is when I got to run without it wrong.
Good thing
No, I know
I-
you pulled that out of your ass. I know. And trust me, I'm looking at the same things Pip does as far as Trump. Like, this is utterly ridiculous. But it doesn't matter. It does not matter.
That's what I say. Though. Like, I still go with the toughest was the celebrity thing.
Oh yeah.
During the break, I went through the post because usually have something, and I'm like, well, I could come up with the comb store. I kept on falling back to the comb store. I'm like, I can put something together and try to sell it. That's what I do during it. I'm gonna have to do it now.
Yeah.
And it was just close to no cigar, but at least I can make my presentation. I got my presentation out on something that I'm like, I got nothing really to fucking.
You know what? Unfortunately, we're not going to get a Roseanne or Kanye every year, kids.
I know.
No. I was realizing that now. I go, everybody was a goody two shoes this fucking year.
What? Is there not one Kardashian acting stupid? What's Pete Davidson up to? He must be doing something.
Well, you know what?
I looked. It was a stupid drunk driving thing, which was going to hold no weight. So I go, all right. Him and that other guy bought that ferry. Let's see what's going on with that. Well, apparently you're not going to make a club out of it, So can't even go to Pete Davidson this year.
I know. Our favorites let us down.
Well, but Elon was there. And here's why my logic holds true. Elon has suffered consequences for his foolishness. Donald Trump has not. Now, this might look like a terrible decision come November if Trump loses, because then there were consequences. But as of now, he suffered no. It's not like he spent any time in jail for like going after the judge's kids or anything. Because you or I, if we're on trial and we start going after the judge, because what type of dummy are you? Because we'd wind up in the clink. They don't do anything to him.
They don't, which is amazing. Because I would be in a women's prison so fast.
Or men's prison, depends. Depends where you're needed.
Depends where I'm needed.
All right, well, that was I've recorded this whole conversation, so this will be on the back end of the show, so people can listen to this. All right, good. All right. Yep, you too. Have a good week. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.